in terms of the exposure that you've had up until now, do you see yourself sort of flourishing and carrying that through? You spoke about the maturity level of knowledge in certain areas and things like that. Are you keen to really follow that through, or are you keen to sort of become a jack of all, master of none, and get some exposure across other areas? How do you sort of see that going, or is there a constant touch point with these different areas, right? As someone that's not part of the industry or doesn't have a career technically within information security or cybersecurity stuff, it's interesting to see, how you potentially strategize, or maybe it just happens organically, right? What's your sort of thoughts on that?
So I definitely think there's a level of like organic development for sure, because everything in the cyber industry is very connected. Everything needs to talk to this, talk to that, just due to the nature of networks. It's just kind of par for the course from that perspective. So I see it being very beneficial to understand a bit of everything, and it's why I constantly try to just ensure that my lateral knowledge is really good, so that I may not have heard of this piece here, but give me a quick understanding of like where it works, how it implements that, and then I can go, cool, because I have all this, I can connect this, into that. Now I know where it fits. So yes, I've never heard of it before, but I can see where it fits, where it's acting, that kind of thing. So I definitely see a benefit for not going super specialized unnecessarily so, and just maintaining a constant foundation of a general knowledge foundation. But from that perspective as well, I do see myself potentially moving a little bit more technical. I find the problem solving nature of a technical environment very interesting, and problem solving both from a people and a technical perspective, and building these systems and networks and everything from that front. I'm definitely not like I spend my evenings and afternoons sitting on Hack the Box and other various red teaming websites and penetration testing and all of that, but I don't necessarily see myself making a career out of that. It's very much not very people centric, and from that perspective. But I enjoy, like I said, the problem solving nature of that. It also allows me to gain knowledge from there in order to apply it to a customer when they're going, okay, cool, but what about this attack vector? Or what about that? I go, okay, cool. I remember that from Wednesday evening when I was doing it myself, and how did I navigate that? And yes, I may not have extensive red teaming knowledge and I know every single possible facet, but I do have an idea from, okay, cool, this fits in here, this fits in there, and I can navigate that. So I suppose that gives me the blurb on why I see a necessity to ensure that constant foundation is there of knowledge. But in saying so, I want to push technical space, but more businesses' technical development. So ensuring that their setups are better and they are constantly maturing that, whatever that setup looks like. I mean, you say technical, like I throw out this term technical, like cool, but that could be anywhere. That could be endpoint, firewall. Like there's so many different realms to go in there. So I like knowing a bit of everything from that perspective. I definitely don't think I've had enough technical exposure to go, cool, I love firewall config, or something of I love endpoint, or something like that, where I go, cool, that's the rabbit I'm chasing, I'm in, kind of thing. So potentially moving towards a more technical orientated space and getting a little bit more exposure to that, the same way I've had the exposure now to a bit of everywhere in a company from a cyber perspective. Now I can go, cool, that technical stuff, that intrigues me, that's quite cool. So kind of chase that rabbit a little bit, and then when it departs and goes in its many directions, as the technical world does, I can go, cool, that I like, that I don't necessarily like, let's move a little bit more there. And I think in the industry it's ever evolving. So while we say, oh, that's really cool, I really think that's like where it's at, the next bit of tech comes out and just obliterates that out the water, and we go, oh, cool, maybe we need to think about it from this perspective. So I think constantly being agile, and look, I'm super guilty of planning 20 years in advance and wanting everything to go to plan. And I like very much, yeah, I'll throw my hand up,
Brave and
guilty as
security, mate.
charged.
Very brave.
Yeah, for sure. But then we go, cool, spanner in the works. This problem. Oh damn. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Let's shift. So I've tried to take a bit more of a mindset from let's not plan. It has to be step here, step here, step here. More of and I use a bowling analogy quite often because it came to mind and it's the one that seems to have stuck on the front of when you go bowling, you throw the ball down the bowling alley and there's gutters in the side. If you don't plan for anything, there's a decent chance it's going to hit those gutters, and then there's no chance that you're going to hit the pins. When you plan a little bit, that's when they throw those little railings up on the side. And now, yes, you're throwing down, but you've created a little bit of planning. So you're avoiding those gutters, unless you really duff it. You are avoiding those gutters. And yes, you might bounce between them, but because you've got that end goal in sight and that what you want to achieve has been defined, no matter how many times you bounce, you're still heading in the right direction. So there could be an issue, anything of that nature, but you're still heading towards that end goal. So I'm trying to take that more of that approach to life in general and my career at the moment of just planning, but also planning for variables and understanding when those variables arrive, because they will. It's inevitable. That's life. That it's not the end of the world. It's not suddenly your plan is finished. Go to your room, lock your door, cry. Like, no, like it's okay, cool. Little bump on the shoulder. Let's reevaluate. Am I still heading towards my end goal? Am I still prioritizing that? Cool. Yes. Then it's not a problem. Then we just keep putting away and heading in that direction.
No, it's an awesome analogy, mate. I love that. I think it's relatable, right? Who doesn't play 10-pin? Mate, it's been a pleasure to chat with you. This initiative has been born off the back of my chats with yourself and Warren and Jabu more recently. There's an opportunity for myself with the alliances to be able to nurture the next generation and to create a platform for them to leverage and benchmark against each other and collaborate earlier in their careers rather than when they're at the top, which is where I've entered with the alliances, right? So I'm really grateful to you guys for embracing it and committing time to it when you have the time, which I know you don't have much of. But yeah, great to chat with you, mate. Thanks very much for your insight. For the listeners, I hope you found some affinity to it or sparked an opportunity for you to get involved in something like this or with us. Please do reach out if you want to do that. But I'll leave you get back to your Friday, Jared. Enjoy the weekend, mate, and thank you very much for the time.
Thanks to the listeners and everything. If you do want to reach out and chat or anything of that nature, pop me a message on LinkedIn. Always keen to chat, Cyber. Thank you, Lee, for your time. And enjoy the rest of your Friday and weekend further.